I said in the preview that this pay-per-view was going to suck, and in the words of Paul Heyman, that wasn't a prediction. That was a spoiler, because this pay-per-view did indeed 100% fucking suck, guys. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. It's time for your AEW All Out 2022 review. I wonder why they call this All Out. Is it because all the fans tuned it during the fucking show because it was that bad? I think it might have been. It was one of the worst pay-per-views I have ever had the displeasure of sitting watching it. Why did I even watch it? That's the question. I don't fucking know. We had 11 matches. All of them were garbage. All of them were shite. I take that back. There was like one or two that were okay, but the majority of them were fucking horrendous. And we'll kick off with the first match, the casino ladder match. This had to be the most retarded thing I've ever fucking seen. First of all, it's a match full of jobbers. We get to the third participant, and Rush comes out, and we have Phoenix already on top of the ladder. Phoenix is trying to grab the casino chip or whatever. He's on top of the ladder, and Rush is just coming out. And look, oh no, wait, it was Wheeler Yuta. I don't know, Phoenix Yuta. Who gives a shit at this stage? So Yuta's on top of the ladder. He's about to grab the chip. And then we have Rush just walking it to the ring. This is the match on the line, and he's just walking it to the ring. Should he not be doing what his name suggests? Should he not be rushing to the ring to try and prevent Wheeler Yuta grabbing the thing? No, he just walks down casually. And then we get the other Mexican dude and fucking the guy with the mask on, I forget his name, not Dark Pentagon, the other Phoenix. So Phoenix has to get up and try and stop Wheeler Yuta, and then Wheeler Yuta eventually kicks him off, and then Rush finally gets in the ring and he pulls him off the ladder. Just an absolute joke. And then 2 minutes later, we get an even worse spot. So we've got Rush. Rush is taking out Phoenix. He's taking out Wheeler Yuta. Then we get Andrade come down to the ring. Andrade and Rush are teammates. Andrade gets in the ring. Rush has already set the ladder up from. Rush tells him to go up the ladder and get the chip, win the match. Then Andrade gets a second ladder, he sets it up, wastes about 20 seconds, and then they go out the ring and they beat up the guys that are already down. Like, what was the fucking point of this? Then they get back in the ring, they do a bunch of moves onto the ladder, and it's like, Andrade could have simply just came out, walked up the ladder, and won it in 10 seconds, but he decided to waste about fucking 30 seconds setting up a ladder that he didn't even need. This was the most retarded thing I've ever seen. Just a bunch of guys that just do not know how to work, and when you throw them out, I mean, it's bad enough when there's only a one-on-one match, but when you throw these guys in and you got a whole bunch of them, it just shows you how amateurish this whole shite is. So then we get Cesaro. He comes down. He's got two ladders joined together. He tries to make it into an X, but he's not strong enough. It's fucking awkward as fuck. He's trying to push one ladder through the other while Andrade's on top, but he can't do it. And then Andrade just falls off the ladder to the side. And it was like, and then the commentary team's trying to pretend that's what he was going for, but in reality, it was not. Then we have Dante come in. Dante's doing a bunch of moves. He climbs under a ladder. The ladder falls on top of him, and he just completely no-sells it. The ladder falls on top of him, cracks him on the back of the head, and he just carries on with his move because these guys don't know how to fucking sell, because AEW fucking sucks, man. This was horrendous. Literally, the ladder comes down, cracks him in the back of the head, and he just carries on doing his move because he doesn't. Even in the WWE games, if you hit someone bloody mid-move, it'll interrupt the move. But Dante was already in move mode, so he didn't know how to fucking interact or improvise. It was just oh man, this is indie wrestling. This is an insult to indie wrestling. Fuck. Then we have a bunch of guys come out with masks. One of them just runs up, grabs it, and it's Stokely, who wasn't even in the match. And then he gives it to this guy who comes out with a mask on, and apparently he's the Joker, so he wins. So the match finishes by Stokely, who wasn't in the match, climbing up, getting it, and then handing it to Joker, who came out last. What a shit show of this casino ladder match might just be one of the worst fucking matches I have ever seen in my life. Waste of time. I can't believe I spent 2 minutes talking about it. What an absolute joke. Worst ladder match I have ever seen, bar none. This was horrendous. Speaking of horrendous, move on to the trio titles. I mean, I don't know why they're doing a trios title competition. They're crowning the champs tonight, and they've got another 2 6-man tag matches on the show. Whatever happened to just doing one tag match and trying to make it feel special? But no, they put a bunch of other trio tag matches on tonight. Whatever. Adam Page goes for the buckshot lariat. Clothesline, Kenny Omega ducks. He clotheslines John Silver. Fuck knows how he clotheslined John Silver. John Silver's about 3 foot tall. Adam Page would have legit had to do this move on his fucking knees to make a connection with John Silver, so I don't know how that happened. Omega pins Silver. Omega and the Bucks are your new champs. If you didn't know they were winning, then I don't know what to tell you. You're not right in the head. I mean, this was painfully obvious that they were winning this match. The Dark Order had absolutely no chance, and to be fair, I mean, the Dark Order sucks. I don't think they should have won. Then we move on to Cargill versus Athena. Cargill debuted a new look. I think this suited her. She's done away with like the blonde hair. I think she looked good tonight, you know, for a change. I didn't prefer her old look, but I actually think Jade Cargill looked alright tonight, man. I would keep this look. This was a better look. Athena comes out like a rocket, takes out Cargill, had her pinned. One of her crew pulls the ref out. Then Athena goes out and, you know, batters them, gets back in the ring, hits some moves, but Cargill hits her finisher and gets the win. I mean, a quick 6-minute match, but it was one of the better matches of the night. I actually enjoyed this. But regardless, it's 37-0 for Jade Cargill. Then we get CM Punk arriving backstage. He's in the parking lot. He says that tonight Moxley isn't just fighting him. He's fighting Ace. He's fighting Larry. He's fighting cups of coffee. What the fuck? How's he fighting a cup of coffee, man? What is CM Punk doing here? What the fuck is this shit, man? Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Speaking of horrendous, it's Fuck the Revival versus Warlord, FTR and Warlord versus Lethal and the Guns. I mean, the Guns haven't been relevant in about 15 years. No one cares about the Guns. FTR are probably the most overrated tag team I think I've ever seen. Like, who gives a fuck? FTR and Wardlow win. Then Joe comes out when the big Indian guy gets involved post-match. So, like, he comes in and Sanjay Dutt's involved. So it's like a 5-on-3 disadvantage for the Guns. And, no, it's a 5-on-3 disadvantage for Wardlow and FTR. Then Joe comes out to make the save. Hits the big Indian dude with the belt. Gets in the ring, does a couple of moves, and then Joe's busted open. How the fuck can Joe be busted open? He was there for 20 seconds, and all he did was hit offensive moves. He didn't actually take any moves. It just shows you how unsafe every person in this company is. Joe literally appears. We haven't seen him in months. He comes out, he's there for 20 seconds, and he's fucking covered in blood. Like, what is this, man? Seriously. Then we get Hobbs versus Starks. Thought this was going to be a big match. Thought Ricky Starks was supposed to be getting a push. Hobbs squashed him in about 3 minutes. Very strange. Then we got, for my opinion, this was the match of the night. Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. Acclaim came out, JR singing along. We had a 3-count error. Fatboy was too slow on breaking up the count, so the ref counts 3 but doesn't count 3, and then Taz is like, oh, I don't know what happened there, and then the commentators tell him that that Fatty Boy Keith Lee broke up the count even though he didn't break up in time, and then Taz is like, oh, Keith Lee, I totally forgot about him, I was lost in the moment. It's like, what the fuck? Lost in the moment? Mate, you're commentating in this match, you shouldn't be lost in the moment. I can understand if you fell asleep because it's that bad, but lost in the moment? What moment? All these moments suck. And then we get JR turn around and say that he's never seen a more focal and energised crowd fan base in the history of wrestling. And one of the sickest things happened next. Taz agreed with him. I mean, are you serious, Taz? You were an ECW, mate. EC fucking W. One of the, you know, probably the most rabid crowd of all time. Hostile crowd, you know, a crowd that would actually kick your ass, a crowd full of tough guys, a crowd that would riot based on results they didn't want, you know, crowds that literally fucking invaded arenas, destroyed the rings, lodged chairs in, you know, fucking a crowd, a mad crowd. You look at Attitude Era crowds. I mean, come on, WCW crowds in the 90s, you look at the 80s, hell, even look at TNA, man. TNA had a big fan, you know, they had a very focal and energised fan base. The TNA fans loved TNA, you know, big TNA chants. I mean, what the fuck is AEW? It's a bunch of nerds, man. It's a bunch of people that like to watch My Little Pony and fucking play Dragon Ball Z, you know, that's pish. Bunch of fucking nerds, and they're trying to make it this is the best crowd ever. That's embarrassing, man. Even based on ECW One Night Stand alone, that has to be the best crowd ever. But JR and Taz are trying to tell you that AEW, you know, has the best fans. Well, what a load of pish, man. Seriously. Swerve in Our Glory win. The crowd are booing. Nobody wanted these two to win. I didn't want them to win either. That's what it is. Then we move on to the Fatal 4-Way to crown a women's interim championship. I don't care. Toni Storm won. Britt Baker cost Jamie Hayter the match. Who gives a shit? Right, next up we get Cage versus Jungle Boy. We get the promo package. I think Christian Cage has been doing the best work in recent months in AEW. He comes to the ring. Then we get Jungle Boy comes out with his jungle music. Crowd are singing along. Unfortunately, we don't get Taz singing along, but it is what it is. Jungle Boy appears to be waiting on Luchasaurus. He turns around, he doesn't see Luchasaurus, then Luchasaurus comes from behind and attacks Jungle Boy and destroys him. Choke slams him on the steel. Choke slams him through a table. Rolls him into the ring. Christian then hits a spear, Jungle Boy kicks out, then Christian hits the kill switch and gets the 1-2-3. Christian wins. What was the fucking point of this? Luchasaurus literally turned heel like about 6 weeks ago, just to turn face 3 weeks later, just to turn heel again. What did that accomplish? Like, what did it fucking... It accomplished absolutely nothing. And then Jungle Boy came out and says that he says that Luchasaurus was protecting Christian. What sense did that make? If Luchasaurus is only... If his main thing was protecting Christian, why was he beating up all these poor guys during his 3-week heel run? This makes absolutely no sense. So Luchasaurus all of a sudden is a big heel again. He's on Christian's side. Why did they change it in the first place? Seriously, what was the fucking point, man? Garbage. Absolute garbage. Then maybe the worst thing of the night. Nah, it wasn't worse than the Casino Ladder match, but it was up there. Probably the second worst thing of the night. We got a backstage promo with Death Triangle and Best Friends. The interviewers asking Pac how he feels. Then he's asking the two guys with masks. The two guys with masks can barely speak a bit of English, so they don't say anything. Then Pac says something about control. You're a little doggy barking up the wrong tree, and he fucking walks off. And then we have Best Friends and Danhausen, and they put their hands in together, and Danhausen goes, 1, 2, 3, I think that was it. And then they're like shrugging their shoulders, and then the segment ends. I mean, what the fuck? This was bad. I mean, this was bad. This was worse than bad, man. This was unwatchable. I mean, imagine paying $50 and you get this, and people say Danhausen's like a big draw. He's going to be bigger than Austin. I mean, are you fucking smoking crack? What the hell? Then we get Jericho Bryan. I mean, it was an okay match, but for me, it just dragged on. Jericho persistent on being Lionheart. You can't be Lionheart, mate. You were Lionheart in the fucking 90s when you were coming through, right? You've aged 30 years. You are not the same guy. You're not Lionheart Chris Jericho. You're old, 50-year-old, past your prime, fucking Chris Jericho. That's what it is. Midlife crisis Jericho. You're not Lionheart Jericho. You're midlife crisis Jericho. Anyway, Jericho, low blow, Judas Effect, beats Bryan. The GAS come out to celebrate with Jericho, but we get Danny Garcia watching backstage, so he didn't want to come out and celebrate. Then we get the House of Black versus Sting, Miro and Allen. Again, another trios match. Why? Who knows? Why is Sting being wasted babysitting Darby Allin? I mean, the guy is, 63, 64. How long does he have left in his career? Not long. How many more matches does he have left? Not long. How many more times will we see Sting? Probably not a lot, and they're wasting him with this wee gimp, this 140-pound fucking soaking wet emo skateboarder who's going absolutely nowhere. It's just a fucking waste of a legend in Sting. Honestly, man, since Sting came in, they've done nothing but team him up with Darby Allin. Like, it's an absolute waste. You've got an icon here, a legit icon in the business, a legend, and all he does is literally hold a bat and walk to the ring with fucking Darby Allin. You know, a guy that probably Dax Hardwood's 8-year-old daughter could beat up. So again, what is the point? The finish of this match was fucking horrendous. Sting blows cool air. He just blows in Malachi Black's face. Nothing comes out, and Malachi Black starts acting as if he got fucking acid blown in his face or something. I mean, what the commentators are selling it. Oh, Sting used the mist. Nothing came out Sting's mouth. It was fucking horrendous. It was awful. And then Darby Allin rolls up Malachi Black, and Darby Allin beats Black, and you're thinking, what the hell, man, is going on here? This is a mess. Speaking of messes, we move on to the main event. Punk Moxley. We get Punk's entrance, and we're waiting on Punk to come out, and then the camera cuts backstage for like a split second, and it shows somebody like doing the splits. I'm assuming it was Moxley, but how the fuck could Moxley do splits? His big fucking unathletic ass. So I don't know who it was, but I mean, why would you cut backstage to like somebody else when it's Punk's entrance? And then by the time they cut back, Punk's already out in the ramp. So they missed Punk coming out. Garbage. The match starts. Punk gets busted open, lots of blood. This was boring. This wasn't a good match. This was like 20 odd minutes of Moxley just basically raking Punk's eyes, biting Punk, spreading Punk on Blood's face, spreading blood on Punk's face even. Just a shit match. Then Punk wins with 2 go to sleeps. Punk celebrates with the title. Then the lights go out and we hear Tony Khan talking to somebody on the phone. He wants them to come back at All Out. He says he'll put them in a casino ladder match. He'll pay them a lot of money. Then we get a promo from like 20 years ago, which shows Punk, or not 20 years ago, but 15 years ago. What year are we in? But 17 years ago, Punk in a Ring of Honor, and he's saying that the smartest thing the devil done was making you believe he's not real. And then we cut back to real time, and the guy takes his mask off that won the casino ladder match, and it's MJF. Then MJF comes out, looks at Punk, and I guess we're getting Punk MJF 3, and it's going to be for the AEW title. So, I mean, was the ending bad? No, the ending was actually okay. It was just everything fucking before the ending that absolutely sucked. So, no, I mean, I thought the reveal of MJF was pretty cool, but apart from that, like, what a horrible pay-per-view, man. I pity anybody that paid $50 for it, but then again, I don't, because you need to be dumb as fuck to pay $50 for this shit show anyway. I mean, I could have told you it was going to be garbage. I mean, yeah, so if you paid $50 for this, then, you know what I mean, you kind of deserve everything you get. This show was garbage. I'm going to give it what do I give it? I kind of did like the tag team match. I thought the women's match was not bad. The Athena Cargill match, Jericho Prime was just boring. Main event was boring. I'll give it a 1 out of 10. It's getting a 1 out of 10. And I feel like I'm being generous with that because, yeah, there was a lot of shit on this show. But yeah, guys, there you go. 1 out of 10. Absolutely awful. AEW is fucking dying, and you know it. MJF says he's better than you, and you know it. Well, I'm telling you, AEW is dying, and I know it. I know it 100%. That's it, guys. Till next time. Peace.